I mean, I find it fascinating. We're living in COVID time. I mean, I wonder if this ever ends. We don't know if COVID time's going to end, but if it does, we'll be looking back and be like, whoa, COVID time that's when everything changed, and this happened and that happened during COVID. And, one of the things that's happened in the field that I work in, which is, therapeutic field, drug and alcohol treatment, mental health treatment, is a lot of people began to work from home and began to offer what used to be an in-person experience, therapy, counseling, even spiritual work, via Zoom or, FaceTime or whatever on the computer or phone. And so, as I work in the field, like a lot of people, I'm asking, okay, what's going on here? Is this working? Is this sustainable? Is this good? I mean, should we keep this? I mean, what if it goes back to normal? Should we keep doing these Zoom sessions? This kind of thing. And the first thing I noticed, because I always notice the bullshit first. That's just my, maybe my cynical part, is people started saying, I see a lot of things better about Zoom. A lot of therapists and stuff like that I know. And I was kind of like, well, that's convenient, because you're at home. So if you said, this really sucks, it's a bad incentive for you because you get paid to not leave your house now, and be on the computer, and you'd probably like to keep it that way if and when things go back to normal, But if I asked you right before COVID, what do you think's more effective, a Zoom session or an in-person session, I doubt you would say Zoom. But now suddenly, I hear that a lot. That being said, I think there are a few benefits to Zoom. One of the benefits is because you're communicating through a medium, there's some layers removed there. And so for a lot of people, because a lot of people suffer from anxiety, and it's hard to kind of have somebody look at you, even if you don't have anxiety. I mean, just intimacy is difficult for people. It's a little less intimate. And because it's a little less intimate, it might mean you're a little more comfortable. And because you're a little more comfortable, it might make that process of being vulnerable a little easier. So I think that's a big deal. And really helpful. Of course, there's on the other side of that, the exact same downside, which is it's a little less intimate. And sometimes the most powerful moments that we experience in a therapeutic process or spiritual process, counseling process, is a deep moment of intimacy with another human being in the room. I mean, that's when the healing generally happens. To be witnessed, seen, and held, by another human being in a deep and transformative way. It can happen by Zoom, but it's not nearly as intimate. I think the biggest factor around it is it's different for everybody. Some people, I've been diagnosed ADD, ADHD, among other things. I have a difficult time staying focused on a screen for multiple hours during the day, whether I'm on the receiving end or I'm on the counseling end. And that's just how I'm built. And so I think that, a huge piece is differentiating, who that's beneficial for. Early on in drug and alcohol treatment, I think absolutely no way. I think people need physical contact with other human beings early on in a recovery process. By early on, I just even mean the first couple of weeks. Like there's somebody else there that's real, that's grounding you, that's with you, that's breathing with you, as lungs you can see, et cetera. So, in general, there are trade-offs. I think, it'll stick around, and I think that will be somewhat beneficial. But my concern about it, I would say in the long term, is I'm concerned about people being disconnected from themselves in general for reasons I've talked about in other videos, that our society seems to be more and more atomized and disconnected. And it's like, here's one more form of separation from each other, and so, it's not my cup of tea in general, but we'll do the best we can with it.